Spider-Man 4 is allegedly ditching previously rumored characters that were going to appear in the upcoming sequel for a much more simplified New York street-level film. That's also going to be an insane multiverse romp. So if you've been following the rumor mill for Spider-Man 4, and I think most people have, because, people want another Spider-Man film, it's been rumored for quite some time that Charlie Cox's Daredevil is going to be co-starring in the film as the one Marvel character that they want front and center, and then like a second one, that's kind of like a supporting character, because they're allowed to use like 2 to 4 from the MCU for these Sony films, so there was still room left over. We heard rumors that they wanted to essentially bring in some of the street-level New York characters, and that among them was Kate Bishop, aka Hawkeye. And since the events of the ending of Spider-Man No Way Home and the first season overlap, people just figured, well, they're gonna set the film sometime after that, probably 6 months to a year after that. They've probably met, Spider-Man's helped her, or she's popped up when he's doing something, and she's gonna be in the film. Well, multiple reports have come out now, and I think the original one, I could be wrong, comes from Rejected Scooper. That's a great name, that's funny. They were the first ones, from what I can find, claiming Kate Bishop is not appearing in this, but she will be mentioned. And somebody else added onto this, saying that they've heard that it's going to be one of those recruitment tactics where it's like, hey, Spider-Man, aren't you a little, like, out of your league with the big Avengers stuff? Why don't you go join these people over here teaming up? Pointing to, like, the Young Avengers, right? Or Champions, or whatever they end up being called. New Avengers, sure, whatever, right? That makes sense. I honestly don't want Spider-Man to be settled in with a bunch of street heroes for 30 minutes, and then suddenly, if Sony gets their way, we're thrust into, multiverse romp, don't worry all you, get away, and just reappear in the third act, maybe. That kind of seems cheap and stupid. So maybe they're kind of meeting in the middle, going, hey, look, we'll add Daredevil, even if it's multiverse stuff, he could still join you for it. We do some of the Kingpin stuff. Villains infiltrate the universe again, maybe, and we'll deal with that when it's the time, and we don't need all these characters. And I think that would work. And honestly, I really don't want Kate Bishop in Spider-Man 4 at all. We've talked about that rumor before, and I was never really into that. Or Kamala Khan, really. Like, why can't Spider-Man 4 just be Spider-Man? Like, I'm telling you right now, I don't even really want Daredevil or anything. I would just love a Spider-Man film that's kind of like, hey, here's my stuff, and maybe at the end some of these characters pop up, or it's a small cameo. It doesn't have to be giant supporting roles that revolve around all of them. And that's kind of my fear, that they're trying to make it that. Hopefully not. Who knows? What's your guys' take on this? If it's true that Kate Bishop isn't appearing in it anymore, and at one point she was going to, how do you feel? Personally, for me, just, if you're going to use anybody, just use Daredevil and Kingpin and nobody else. Like, that's the story.